Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we'll be covering 6 new defensive box fighting techniques. So this video will be quite lengthy. So this means that if you already know a tip, you can actually skip a tip using the new timestamp/chapter feature in the description. Yeah, so make sure to do that, and let's move on to the first tip. So, trick number one. Trick number one is actually quite a common one you can use. So you use this technique when your opponent is standing on a ramp and is pickaxing your wall. Now, I think a lot of guys in this scenario would just do this. Peanut butter edit, then hit the cone and put the walls to the side. Now, there's one problem with this though, is that if the opponent stands in the middle of the ramp and jumps up and puts a floor underneath him, he can actually escape by getting inside the cone. Now, we don't want that. We don't want any escape for our opponent. So what can we do? Even though the normal cone isn't bad, I'm about to show you what you actually should do. Start off the same, peanut butter edit, but then put a ramp down and edit 3 tiles on a floor. Now, what does this do? It makes it significantly harder for your opponent to jump up and try to get to safety. Now, obviously, you will add walls to the side. I didn't do this in the clip for extra piece control. And with people that really don't expect this, it's going to be easy kills and easy damage onto your opponent if you learned this trick right now. Now, the second trick is much more simpler and it's much more basic, but it can definitely get an opponent off guard. So, what is this trick? So, you use this trick when your opponent is trying to take your cone and your floor from above. So, firstly, let your opponent have the cone. And as soon as they edit, what you want to do is edit the front 2 tiles of a floor as you have your body leaning against the wall in front of you. Now, you want to do this in one forward motion to keep your opponent off guard as soon as they edit the cone. Now, if you do this correctly, very little of your head will be poking out from your opponent, and since they have just edited the cone, they will not expect it, and you'll usually get a high damage shot off on them. So for trick number 3, if you don't currently know how to do this, it might take a bit of practice to do, but within a couple of hours or a couple of days in creative, you should be able to get the hang of this. So yeah, let's get right into it. So you can use this technique when your opponent is not standing directly in front of the wall, instead of standing to the left to create a right hand peek. This is when you should use this technique. Okay, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is do a peanut butter edit, place a wall while you are hidden from your opponent, then place cone down. So that is wall, edit, wall, cone. Now that might seem simple, and it is actually pretty simple. The problem with this is that you have to do this insanely fast for it to be effective. Let me explain. So this is what it would look like from the opponent's POV. You see, you edit, then instantly you have a cone under you. You see how instantaneously this all happens. Most players will panic, try to build a ramp, but then they already have a cone below them, so they can't do anything about it. And you'll usually get a free shot off or maybe a free kill. But like I said before, if you are slow at doing this, your opponent will not fall for it. Your opponent will have time to react and build a ramp, so they'll block all the damage. This means you have to practice this a lot and try to make it as fast as possible. Now, you can obviously practice this in your hub, but I find that you can actually practice this in Raiders Pest Control V3. I'll show an example. So this is stage 1 of Raiders Pest Control V3. And what I usually do is this right here. I'll do it slowly for you guys. So I do the triple edit section here. I box up once, then I move over to this box in the corner right here. Then I do exactly what I did before. Peanut butter edit, then top bar edit. Now, like I said before, the first edit doesn't have to be a peanut butter edit. It can be a top bar edit like I did before. Just make sure that you are protected while doing it. That is the most important part, so you don't take any damage while doing it. Another thing to mention is that most of these stages you can actually practice this. So this is me in stage 2, and you can see me practicing it in a different way, but you can still practice it nonetheless. So just make sure to practice this. This will come up clutch. If you watch pros playing arena, tournaments, scrims, you'll see a lot of them trying to do this because it is so useful. Trick number 4, we're just calming it down a bit. We're going for another simple trick that is again useful in some certain scenarios. So let's get right into it. So the final trick is when someone has a ramp over their head and is trying to jump into your box. What do? So the most effective thing to do is obviously rebox. But obviously sometimes you just can't play defensive the whole time. You got to have a bit of offensive asset in your defense to turn your defense into offense. So anyway, for this final trick, as soon as the opponent is phasing into the box, what you want to do is run outside the box. Yes, and as soon as you run outside the box, you want to build a wall. Now, what does this mean and what does this do? What this does is that, I can't speak right now. It traps your opponent completely in your box, meaning every single wall, every single floor, every single cone is yours, and you can make every single edit on them. Get some right hand picks on them, get some high ground advantage on them, do anything to do some damage on them, because you literally got every single advantage on them, so you should be able to kill them. Anyway, that is all for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe for more. I've got another video planned. I might upload it today or tomorrow, depending on how tired I am and how much reception this gets. But peace out, guys.